Okay, so remember we did 45, 45, 90 triangles. And they were x square root 2. And this was isosceles. And we knew they were isosceles because those two angles are the same, which means the two sides are the same. Okay, so we're going to take an equilateral triangle. We're going to cut it in, we're going to bisect it. And we're going to make 30, 60, 90. So when we bisect it, that's our 90. This one was 60 and 60. And then the one at the top was 60. So when we cut it in half, we get 2 30s. So those are the angles. For the sides, the short side is half of the new hypotenuse. And the new bisector that we did in the middle is x times the square root of 3. And we know that because we took an equilateral triangle. And if we do x squared plus x to the square root of 3 squared, we get 2x squared. So let's see if that works out. So I have x squared plus 3x squared, which is 4x squared. And if I square root it, I get 2x, which is my new hypotenuse. So here's our new chart we're going to use. So this time, the square root value is going to be with the 60. So remember, short leg, hypotenuse, and the longer leg. Okay, so the short leg is opposite the 30, and the long leg is opposite the 60. So remember, when we say 30, we're talking about x. When we say 60, we're talking about that. And when we have the hypotenuse, it's across from the 90. So here's what our table looks like. If x is 8, then that is 2 times 8. And this is 8 times the square root of 3. So we'll fill out our table. So if 12 is equal to 2x, then x equals 6. And if this is x, then this is 9, and this is 9 times 2, which is 18. And we draw the table to keep organized. So here's my x. X is 14. 2 times 14 is 28. Okay. Always find the shortest side first if you don't have it. Because, okay, so this is rationalized denominator. So that means square roots. All right, so I'm going to make my little table. X, 2x, x square root 3. So x is 6. B is 6 times the square root of 3. And C is 2 times 6, which is 12. So B, 6 times the square root of 3. C is 12. Okay. When we don't have the 30, but we have the 60, we're going to go backwards. So what happens is the x is here, which is the 8. Okay, that's not really what I want to write. Okay, so the x is here, and this is 8. So what happens is, if this is x, see, I don't like that they call that x. They should call that a and c. Okay, so if 60 degrees is a whole number, then we have x times the square root of 3 over 3, but I don't think that's right. Dang, I hate it when this happens. And I just like totally lost my train of thought because I did this last time I did this. Okay. X times the square root of 3 over 3. And this one is 2x square root of 3 over 3. And the reason is because if eight times the square root of 3 equals x, and I'm solving for x, then I would divide both sides by square root of 3. So I would have 8 equals x over square root of 3, but I would multiply that times square root of 3 over square root of 3. And I would end up with 8 equals x square root 3 over 3. This is that. Okay, which you don't really need to know how I got it, but there you go. All right, so if 8 is x, then a is 8 times the square root of 3 over 3, and c is 2 times x, which is 16 times the square root of 3 over 3. So it depends on which side you have and which one you're missing. All right, we have 30. So this one is our straightforward one. Because we have x, 2x, x square root 3. So 30 is 5 and 10. Okay, to find the area, I need to multiply this times this. So the area equals 5 times 5 times the square root of 3. And when we multiply the numbers outside together and the numbers that are inside together. So that would be the area. Which I guess technically we could make a decimal. Which would be 43.3. Okay, ladder up against a building. Here's my ladder. Here's my building. Here's the ground. We're going to assume the right angle is across from the ladder. The ladder, this is 60. Which is what we're looking for. Okay, start a little table. So we need X, but we know the ladder is 24. Oh, which technically I should have put that down there because this is 2X. So if 2X equals 24, X equals 12, which is all we need. The ladder should be 12 feet from building. All right. I was trying to figure out what this is. It looks like it was a bunch of letters, but I have no idea what that is. So this is my post. That's what I'm looking for. The wall's 20, 30 degrees. So this is the X. This is 2X. So this is the backwards one. So we're going to have 30, 60, 90. So this one is X. This is X times the square root of 3 over 3. 2X square root of 3 over 3. This is 20. So the post is 40 square root 3 over 3, which is equal to, since it told me to round, 23, it says round to the nearest hundredths. Feet.